Hey y'all, I'm Alice. If you've watched some of the videos before, welcome back. If you haven't, then welcome, and we're glad to have you. So today's video is going to be a bit of a lazy girl's guide to natural / curly hair care. It's going to be the down and dirty, just the stuff that you basically need to know to take care of it. There's 5 parts, so I'll put timestamps so that you can skip to each part if you'd like to, and then everything will be linked down below. I will also have a blog post linked down below. So yeah. The first thing that I want to start off with is to not use heat on your hair. And I know that that's kind of difficult for some people, but it's like the best thing to do for curly hair. If you put heat on it, you're gonna probably lose your curl pattern, you're gonna damage your hair. It's just not the best thing. If you do use heat, use low heat. And I would also suggest maybe going to a hairstylist who works with natural hair or curly hair to have them show you how to properly straighten it or use tools on it to curl it or whatever it is that you're trying to do without damaging your hair, and then you can take it from there. So part of the reason I say that is because my hair was not always like this. So, well, I mean, it was. I was born with it. I've had it all 27 years of my life, but I'll try to pop a picture up of what my hair looked like when I first decided to start wearing it curly. And I think it was probably like 3 years ago. So I was probably about 24 years old. And heat is the reason that my hair looked cray, looked nothing like it does now. Pretty much had to cut it all off, and this is all new hair as of the past 2.5 to 3 years. So heat is not your friend. So I'll just go ahead and put that out there. I'll also put out there that, you know, it's definitely a learning process, which is part of the reason why I'm making this video. And I'm gonna try to give you just the stuff that you need, because I didn't know how to deal with the hair that God gave me until I was about 24 years old. And I had to do hours and hours of research, and it just blew my mind. And I kind of settled on what I do now because I don't have a lot of time and it's very easy. So let's start off with washing your hair. So for this, I would say to realize that you probably need to wash your hair a lot less than most people do. So this is the second thing. Know that your hair, if it's super curly, chances are your scalp does not produce the same amount of oil as most other people. And the oil is good for your hair. So you wanna make sure that whatever oil you do have is, you know, staying in your hair and doing the good job of nourishing it, basically. And then I'll talk about oils that you can add into your hair as well. So for me, this looks like now, I don't wash my hair except for maybe like once every 1.5 to 3 weeks. Most of the time it's about 2. And you can kind of sort out what it's like for your hair, because depending on the amount of product that you use, what your curl pattern's like, and like how thick or fine or soft your hair might be, it might vary a little bit. But initially, I would say like a good rule of thumb would be to maybe wash it every 2 weeks, and on the week in between to do a co-wash, which is just basically washing with conditioner, for those of you who don't know. And so that's the big deal with washing. That's how frequently you should do it. For the washing process, because it is a process, I have products here. These are like the sample sizes that I'm about to gift to those gals, but this is what I use, just in the bigger version in my shower, like the really huge pump version, because don't want to have to get this stuff every day, and my husband uses it now too, even though he's got wet boy hair. So these are great because you've got a conditioner, which, you know, pretty normal. The stuff that's in it's really great, but you also have this no poo, which is basically a shampoo that doesn't lather. So you don't necessarily have to use these products, but no matter what you use, I would suggest using a shampoo that doesn't lather, that doesn't have like sulfate, parabens, or silicone, which these don't. So basically what you're gonna do when you actually wash your hair on wash day is you're gonna get in, get it wet, then you're gonna take the shampoo and you're going to rub it into just your scalp. You don't want to get it all over the hair, because even though this is good for not really harshly stripping your hair, you don't want to like strip everything off the lower parts of your hair, right? So you want to make sure your scalp is clean. And then when you go to rinse it, the shampoo obviously goes through the rest of your hair and cleanses it, but you don't want to concentrate it there. So you're going to take it and you're going to put it in at the scalp. Now what I normally do is I will wet my hair and then I will just kind of like put it into sections so it's easier to get to my scalp. And for that, I just use a scrunchie, which this is actually a scrunchie. It's got a band inside, but it's lined in silk, and this is by Slip. These are wonderful. I found these recently, and they're great. We'll talk more about silk stuff a little bit later, but I kind of like put it into sections, and then I concentrate that shampoo on the scalp, and then I'll rinse it off at the end. It's quite a process. I would suggest maybe turning off the water to be environmentally friendly while you're doing some parts of this process, because it's going to take you a hot minute, especially your first time. So then after I put this all in my scalp, I will rinse it out. Then I will do sections again, and then you're going to take your conditioner, and what you're going to do is put it in your hand, take out a section that you're going to detangle, and you're going to put it in the bottom, and you're going to go ahead and detangle it. You're gonna like work the product up, kind of like detangle it out, starting with I would say your fingers. I know it sounds crazy, but it is the best way to do it. It's the best for your hair, and it's the quickest. So you would detangle from the bottom going up, and you just do that with each section with your conditioner in. So for curly hair, you want to do your detangling in the shower with your conditioner. You don't really want to do your detangling outside of the shower with nothing in your hair or with dry hair. That's just going to make it frizzy, and it's going to break your hair, and it's awful, and it's just miserable, and you just don't want to do that. So that would be one of my huge suggestions. So after you do that, I will normally like just pop my hair up again in this scrunchie with all the conditioner in, leave it in for a minute, and then I'll, you know, shower the rest of my body, shave my legs, whatever it is that I do in the shower. It all kind of depends on the time that I have. If you don't have a lot of time, you can pretty much rinse it out immediately because you've taken the time to detangle it, so it's probably been sitting in your hair for a while. Now when you go to rinse it, you don't have to rinse the conditioner all the way out. A lot of people leave it in. My hair doesn't do too well with like a ton of product buildup, so I just go ahead and rinse it completely out of my hair, and it's great. So the third thing is to use the L.O.C method, and L.O.C is leave-in conditioner, oil, and then your curl styling products. So what I typically do is I go ahead and I take the same conditioner that I used in my hair. You take this and you're gonna use this leave-in, it's gonna be a leave-in conditioner. Pretty much leave-in conditioner is just conditioner you leave in your hair. You don't have to buy a different fancy product, is what I've learned. A lot of times the conditioner you use in the shower is actually gonna be better than some type of fancy leave-in conditioner you buy. So basically you take that, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna work it in from the bottom up, but you're gonna use a little bit less than you used to actually like condition your hair in the shower. You wanna use a very small amount. So I would say like for a chunk of my hair that is about like yay big, sorry, it's probably gonna be hard to see, but basically for each like little section of my hair, I probably use like maybe a quarter size amount. And so you're just gonna like work that through. Now you wanna start at the end. You don't wanna rake your fingers through. You already detangled, so you don't wanna be messing with those curls anymore because they've clumped together. And the more you mess with the curls and you run your fingers through it and you pull on it and stuff like that, like the frizzier your hair is gonna get and the less defined your curls are gonna be. So you basically take it and you're gonna put it in the bottom, and then you're gonna kind of like work it through with like a cupping motion with your hands. So kind of like this, like around your hair, or you can do kind of like a flattening motion like this too. But you don't wanna rake your fingers through your hair. You don't wanna pull too much on individual curls. It's just to make sure it gets worked through. Then after you do that, you're gonna do oil. So you can use, a lot of people use coconut oil, which is great. There's a ton of different oils out there, and on the bottles it'll normally tell you what they do, but this is a new product I found and I love it. I actually use this for my hair for like styling in between washes, but I've realized that it does just as well to use it as your oil during the wash and styling process as well. So I would just go maybe like 1 or 2 sprays, and then I do the same cupping motion or the flat hands and just kind of do it out. Then, because you've done your leave-in conditioner, you've done your oil, now you can do your curl cream. Now this stuff is really awesome. This is the Diva Curl, what is this called? The Define and Control Style and Shape Curl Elongator. Can't talk. Curl Elongator. This stuff is great because if you don't know, if you don't have curly hair yourself, if you are new to this process, curly hair shrinks. So my hair, for example, whenever I wash it and I detangle it in the shower, is down to here. When it dries, it's up here, you know? And I'll try to put some pictures of what my hair looks like full on out. We're going on almost 2 weeks here, so I have to wash it soon. But, and so I don't have it all out. I tend to put it up towards the end. But, so this stuff is great because it kind of helps with that shrinkage a little bit, and it helps to keep your curls really defined and keep them as long as possible, because trust me, there is nothing more frustrating than having the time and patience and putting all the love in to grow your hair super long, and then when it dries, it just gets so short. But you know, it's inevitable. This stuff really helps though. So I take a very little amount of that and I kind of do the exact same process. Like I start in the bottom, flat hands, cupped hands. Can't stress enough. That whole process, so like washing and then putting that stuff in, probably I would say total takes me about like 45 minutes. Now your hair might be a lot easier to detangle than mine. Who knows? So I'm just gonna throw that out there. It kind of depends. And I would say that 45 minutes counts me like leaving my hair up in a scrunchie and you know, doing other shower related things. So there's that. So basically, like after I do that, it is all good from there. Oh, I will say that before I do the lock method, I do kind of take the chunk of my hair that I'm about to put the lock stuff on, so like the leave-in conditioner oil and the curl styler, I'll take it and I kind of like wring the water out of it, just because you don't want it to be like soppy wet. So I do that before I put that in. And then after that, I tend to like either put my hair up in a scrunchie or I'll basically leave it out. But if I have any extra moisture, this is the fourth thing. I use this like little turby twist or like some type of, it's almost like a terry cloth, I think, material, or an old t-shirt on your hair. You don't want to use a normal towel. This thing is well loved. Sorry guys, you can probably tell that I've been using this thing for a while. It's great, they last. I'll link some down below. And so basically you want to use either that type of material to dry your hair, like that, like almost like terry cloth, or you want to use an old t-shirt because they're softer and they're not as coarse and there's not as many areas for your hair to like hook onto. And if you use a regular towel, since there's so many little bits that can hook your hair, it's going to pull your hair, it's going to make it more frizzy, and it's going to cause breakage. And those are just things that you do not want. So I just suggest using that. Even if you're like me, since I like wring the water out and I do all this process in the shower, I normally, like if I just leave it up in a scrunchie for a second to do my makeup or whatever, my skincare or whatever, I might just like put this is gonna look silly. I might just like put this thing on like over this for a second to kind of soak up some of it. Or if it's like dripping, I just kind of like take it and go like that. But you know, to each his own. Some people like to get out of the shower, completely dry their hair with that thing and then do the lock method. But I find it just a lot less messy and a lot quicker for us lazy / busy gals if you just do it all in the shower. Hi guys. So I've been out of the shower for just a few minutes to put on, you know, some clothes, just lounge around the house today, and to put some lotion on. No makeup obviously, so you know, be kind. But I just kind of wanted to show you. So I did the wash day process and then I did the lock method on my hair. It's just, I had it up in one of these scrunchies. So this is basically how my hair turned out, and you'll see, like I just kind of wanted to show you so that you can see like what it kind of looks like, and also because there's like a little white cast on my hair, but that's just from some of the product, and when it dries it will go away. So just in case that's something you were kind of concerned about. And so yeah, I just kind of wanted to show you. I realized I filmed that video like right before I was gonna do a wash day, like a day or two before, so that's like pretty much as raggedy as my hair looks. So I was like, maybe I should show them what my hair actually looks like when I wash it and do a wash and go. Now obviously, like I said, or maybe I haven't said this yet, but there is such thing as shrinkage. So like my hair is going to be shorter than this and a little bit like have a little bit more volume by the time the day's over. But yeah, just wanted to show you. So this is my hair. This is what it looks like after the process is done. Obviously it's still wet because I'm not going to use any heat on my hair, and I'm just going to like let it dry throughout the day. So let's jump back into the rest of the video. After that, the time between washes. Now this is when I was always like kind of having a bit of a hard time, because your curls look so beautiful when you're done washing. And then, you know, obviously over time I would mess with my hair, I would manipulate it in different ways, and then be like, oh, my curls don't look as good, or I don't know what products to put in it, or I was putting too much product and it looks super heavy, and then I'd have to wash it again, or it'd make my scalp itchy. So what I've kind of learned is that you're gonna need to have one of these guys. I had like a nice one like from salons that does the light mist. This is just from IKEA, but it's doing the trick for right now because the other one broke and I needed something. So you're gonna need a spray bottle with water. Water is your friend. Your hair needs moisture. A lot of the times if you have curly hair, like I said, your hair is going to dry out easier than most, and you're probably not producing as much oil as other people. So you've got to like really make sure to nourish your hair. So on the day-to-day, I just take this spray bottle and I spray it around. And that definitely helps. I do that at pretty much every day between washes. Every other day or whenever I just feel like it, I use again this oil, which helps to keep your curls curly and beautiful and defined for longer and nourish your hair. So I think this one says it has coconut, cocoon butter, and plant peptides. I don't know, I like it. It's a very, very light oil as opposed to just a straight oil that you would get. Like you can even tell it's kind of like ready and thin, but it's great. And I only do like a few spritzes of this in my hair. Another thing that I use is obviously the curl elongator. Sometimes I'll use this if I'm like, you know, really trying to get that length and definition and I'm wearing it out in like my big fro. But also recently I tried this one, which is the Divine and Control Diva Curl Cream, and that's actually what I used today just because I was putting my hair up. This is like the first time I've done my hair like this in a while. I normally have like a poo for my hair, it's just completely out, but wanted to do something like kind of different today. So that's really good. I actually, you'll be able to tell, I'm sure some people it's driving crazy. I like the flyaways and like the baby hairs, and I like it to just be kind of like big. I'm a bigger the hair, the closer to God kind of girl. Just love big hair, and I like a little bit of imperfection, hence like, you know, the way I do my makeup, the way that my hair is. But this stuff is actually really good too in place of gel to like control and slick back these like frizzies if you want, or if you want a really sleek ponytail or something like that. So that's basically what I do during my time between washes. And I've also found that the less you manipulate your hair, typically the better. So like this braid, I did this because I probably am gonna wash my hair within the next day or two. So it does stretch out the curl, which means if I were to take it out of this, it wouldn't be the like really tight, pretty curls that I like to have. So the less you like manipulate it, typically the better, unless if that's the kind of look you're going for with like a twist out or, you know, something like that, which I'll link some of those styles below. Like I said, they're not really something I do a lot of, so I'll give you some good videos though that have been helpful to me when I have done them. So yeah, like the less you manipulate your hair, the better, and make sure that you're using the right products for your hair. So if your hair is a little more coarse than mine, or it's a little more kinky than curly, I would highly recommend a lot of the Shea Moisture products, because I find like their products to be a little bit thicker than the Diva Curl, and so that would probably be helpful. But I think Diva Curl is probably for like my hair type, which is like a softer curl. Even though they're tight curls, like the texture of it's soft and light and it gets weighed down easy. So I think that if you have that, if you have really big loose curls, you're probably gonna wanna go with like a Diva Curl type product. Or I think another one I tried was like Mane Choice is pretty good. It's still a little bit heavier than this. The last thing I'll say about taking care of your hair between washes is, you know, I said I have these like silk scrunchies. Like not only are they just soft and luxurious and make you feel good about your life, but also you're gonna probably either want to get like a silk scarf or head wrap, or my personal fave, get a silk pillowcase. I'm not very good at wrapping my hair. I don't really care to take the time to do that before I go to bed. And especially if you're watching this for a kiddo, like wrapping their hair and having them toss and turn, like it's not gonna stay on. You wanna use a silk pillowcase. Now silk pillowcases, I use the Slip one, which is the same brand that makes these scrunchies. I'll link that down below, but I'll also link some on Amazon that are like way more inexpensive. Silk pillowcases are good for everyone. They help prevent wrinkles. They help take care of your skin and your hair better, partially because there's not that resistance and friction, so it doesn't pull on you, on like your skin or on your hair. So it's good for everyone, but particularly people with curly hair, because if you want to reduce that frizz and you want to make sure that your curls stay longer, if you want to make sure your product stays in your hair, silk soaks up less product than like your regular cotton or whatever pillowcase that you would typically use. So that is another thing that I would highly suggest. So I guess what it comes down to is probably 5 things, right? Avoid heat, like you just, like it's the plague. Just do it. It's the best thing for you. And if you do use it minimally. Wash day every week to 3 weeks, and how to go through that process. And then the lock method, how to take care of your hair between washes and kind of like style it, and then having a silk pillowcase. Like those are the big 5 things I would say. There's 5 parts, so I'll put timestamps so that you can skip to each part if you'd like to, and then everything will be linked down below. I will also have a blog post linked down below. So yeah, if you guys liked this, or if you want to see more videos, like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, check out the blog, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.